With me now is Steven Hall, Managing Director of Steven Hall Partners, and it is an executive compensation firm based here in New York. And Steve, great for you to drop by. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
And you know, of course, the story is fascinating, and everybody on Wall Street is talking about it. But are the charges overblown at all that this could spark a talent drain from these companies?
I don't think so. I mean, the cuts are so dramatic that when you talk about having your cash compensation cut 90%, and you talk about a couple of bad years that have come about and people that have lost a lot of net worth that they have, you may find people that have no choice but to be able to meet their mortgages and other obligations having to look at other places.
But from what you know about this, I mean, cutting the cash compensation, I think some as much as 90%, I mean, isn't that going to be made up by other benefits, let's say bonuses, let's say restricted stock and options and those sorts of instruments?
The goal is they're talking about now, and again, this is a leak that's come out. We don't have the firm
Sure,
information.
Yes.
The goal, the information is that for the top 25 people, pay will be cut, cash comp will be cut 90%. Some of that will be replaced by stock, but overall, total compensation is going to be 50% of what it was, and we don't know how long the restricted stock restriction period is going to last, and so that's not, and even in some of these companies, it's questionable where the value will be on those shares in the future.
Right, so overall, the net, it's going to be a drop for these people in terms of their compensation.
Without a doubt.
Overall.
Without a doubt.
And we're talking about the top 25, so who are we talking about? At what level does it end there?
Well, we're going down 25 right now, so we're going to be the corporate officers who are listed in the proxy, and then we're going to certainly be covering other people that are significant earners and contributors to the firm. And then after that, the second phase of this is the special master is going to be looking at the next 75 in each organization, and we're not sure what kind of impact that will have on their comp, but you can imagine it's going to go down.
But all indications are that it
Yes.
would likely be more as severe, don't you think?
Might not be as severe, but it's probably going to be severe.
Okay, and how does this impact then the pay for everybody else? I'm talking about down to the lowest paid person in that company. Does it all have to get adjusted, or what?
It probably won't get adjusted. I don't think they can do that kind of thing. You know, it's happening at a weird time. Wall Street is now rebounded. There's a lot of profits in the firms, and so there's a lot of places that people, whether it's the top 25, top 100, or people below that, can go. So we're going to see some movement, most probably.
But again, this affects a small number of companies who still have not paid back their government money, who still hold on to government money. So is this really going to impact the rest of the industry in banking? Is it going to impact corporate America, to be honest?
Well, that's the million-dollar question that everybody keeps asking. Will there be spillover on this? I think what we're seeing is kind of an idea from the government of how things should be. The impact is going to be probably some more job mobility amongst people, probably some fears as to, for people that don't have the exceptional TARP coverage, will that come back and impact me? It's going to have some impact on financial services.
And how do you reconcile? Because I was looking through some of Feinberg's decisions as of late, because honestly, we haven't heard that much from him. He's kept a lot of things close to his chest. But he approved AIG, the new CEO, Robert Benmosche, I think it was like a $7 million salary or something like that. And he acknowledged, look, you have to pay this guy that much because he's dealing with a whole lot of stuff going on at AIG. So how do you reconcile that? And then he comes out with this leak, or at least there's this leak that comes out that he wants to slash pay by 90%. I mean, isn't there mixed signals coming out from the White House? Well,
it's interesting. Yes, there are mixed signals, but there's been mixed signals since TARP started. We've been revising what we thought were going to be the right rules to be dealing with. But the problem has been there are vacancies right now that some of these TARP companies have been unable to fill because of compensation pressures caused by the government.
Okay, Steve, your own business, tell me, are a lot of people calling you? What's going on? I mean, are people actually calling you because of this TARP, or are they just calling you because they're trying to find a job in this environment and they've lost their job?
We deal with compensation issues, and the biggest thing that's happened with the stock market being down and the problems that companies are having is having enough glue on people and retention on people. Their long-term plans have been wiped out. Their stock options are worthless, and so it's coming up with what kinds of plans should we be using to incent these people and keep them in place. That's been the bulk of the action right now.
Okay. All right, Steve, thanks so much for joining us. Steven Hall on the compensation issue from the White House.